Spoilers! What the hell happened? Boy, why did they fuck up so badly? Please tell me.
I don't know.
Is it because of zombies? Is it because of virus?
It's
why
not
28 years later?
Okay, it's not. I don't.
Story?
Again, I don't have a problem with the infected. It's the story and the way how like the writing was. We should probably start from the beginning.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
So this is where it had me. So
yes.
We're gonna dive in right into the movie and stuff like that. The beginning of this film goes back 28 years later, which we see a boy named Jimmy, which I'm just going to go out and say now, obviously, Jimmy is the guy at the end of the film with the weird jumping, acting like it's Dying Light fucking characters, but dressed all stupid like.
True.
Which, I mean, I was like already punched out from that. I was like, what the fuck?
True.
I'm like wigs and they're all jumping. And I was like, ugh. And they completely made the zombies feel useless towards the second half.
They did.
But sticking to that, beginning, I liked it. You had Jimmy, you had the start of it. They were scared. The kids are scared. Shit was hitting the fan.
Yeah, exactly. You were seeing the first time the infected actually destroying the village or the town.
It was like a town. They kill his mother. He goes bolting out. He was calling for his dad, but I guess his dad was a father or a priest.
I forgot there was Teletubbies. You got to mention Teletubbies because it's really important later on.
That explains a lot now in the end. Okay.
So, yes.
So, anyways, he runs into the church. His dad sees it as the rapture. However, he spares his son in a way, which made no sense.
Yeah, he gave him his cross and telling him to hide, and he is freaking out and saying, this is what we deserve. This is the sign of our Lord. Take us, rapture, and then he gets eaten alive.
Yeah, exactly. He gets eaten alive just like that. 28 years later happened.
Yeah, this is the part where it was pretty good.
This is where we get our main character. We get Spike, and what's his dad's name? I know the actor's name. Jamie. So we learn that they're getting ready, breakfast, big day. He's cooking. He gave him bacon. Hard to come by, obviously.
Yeah, it was his name day. He was supposed to be going into the mainland.
That's what they are doing. The thing is technically he's a little too young for it, and which we do see. They normally, when they say it a little bit forward, they say that normally it's 14 and 15. Mm-hmm. He's 12. We learn that his mom's sick. She's suffering from some sort of disease. Which guess what is it?
Cancer.
I
thought it was old-time disease. But
I thought it was Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that. But I guess it was some type of cancer, which maybe I'd have to look. But they kind of just deduced it from the ending. So that's what we learn later. But anyways, we know she's struggling with memory and stuff like that. When we learn all that stuff, she's like, he can't go, he can't. So but she kept forgetting.
Yeah, exactly. This is the part where it actually works for us or at least worked for me, because his dad is always like taking care of his mother and his son, and he wants him to grow up as quickly as possible so he can start taking care of himself. Yeah. And actually taking him to, the mainland so he could start getting survival skills that he needed.
The first half was it.
Yeah, exactly. Because remember, they were getting their wood from the fire from the mainland. It's like, you're going to be working here one day, boy.
They were getting everything. They were getting their tools. He has everything. You could tell he really wanted him to go to the mainland and start learning. Oh, yeah. The whole purpose was just to get his first kill because he's going to become a hunter. So, which we learned like through flashbacks and dreams and stuff that they all have a role in the community, obviously, and he's going to be a hunter. Oh yeah, just like his dad. So they meet up with I think it was like the head lady or someone who they don't really establish what they really are, but except that they're like a community. She kind of gives them a quiz. She's like, if you're like, now's the time to do it. If you want to back out, we can't let you in. If this happens, the tides and stuff like that. He says he knows, and he's like, Adelaide,
It just letting you know the instructions of what's going to happen. You're going to go there in the mainland. There is no backup. There is no rescue. If you get lost, you're on your own.
Which they didn't, so, okay, they get ready. They're getting up. They're heading out with the watch guards,
and the townsfolk are cheering.
Yeah, cheering them to give apples,
and,
which is I was like, that's cool.
It's like a hero's farewell. It's like, yeah, you're going out there.
when they start walking out, I love the whole idea of the ties, the thing. This is where we get the poem that we hear in the trailer.
Oh, yeah.
However, they were showing unnecessary things.
Like those flashbacks? Like
the wartime and stuff, medieval. Yeah.
It's just trying to show you like what kind of background they had and what they were learning from. Archery.
I don't think
that is their main thing.
It was trying to connect it to what's going on, but I personally think it was.
I think they did it too much. If it was like a couple of times, like a few in the beginning, I'll agree.
It served no real like crazy purpose at all, except screen time, which we'll learn that kind of ends up happening quite a bit.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, we're going. I like these wide shots and stuff. This was all shot by, which Ocean looked up, was with the iPhone.
Oh yeah.
So it's not meant for like IMAX and stuff like that. It's just they filmed it with an iPhone, which explains those camera angles that they used. So that's why there's pretty interesting camera angle work in this film.
Yeah. Some of it was kind of goofy. I think I heard one of them saying that they actually put it on a goat, so it could be like moving, like you're actually walking.
Yeah, it's literally because it's a phone. It's like the size of this.
Yeah.
They put it on it and they were using it the whole entire time because probably Apple paid the fuck out of them to.
Oh yeah, to use it.
Yeah, exactly. Anyways,
it was creative, but I don't know if it worked.
This whole scene has me where they're going out, they reach the mainland, they go on top, they go into the forest. This is where we meet our first infected, the fat, slow ones that just crawl around and eat worms and try to, pretty much pickings and whatever.
They had the least virus.
Yeah, but they're definitely strange. But fucking worthless. Anyways, you could tell he was hesitant. His dad was trying to get him. There's another one trying to crawl to James. Was it James? Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie.
Anyways, he shoots that one, blood gushing out everywhere.
Well, he was hesitating because he was kind of nervous.
Yeah, he's nervous. The other one stands up and screams. He shoots that one. Then there was a little one, which we learned that pretty much they're breeding.
Yeah, and he was kind of confused. Jamie was like, "What is that?"
Yeah,
I was too. I was like, "Wait, what?"
But you could tell there's an intelligence growing within them because it ran.
Bull. Okay.
So he let him go. Yeah. Anyways, he was like, "Attaboy, whatever." He's like, "Just don't hesitate." Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So they go out. They go further ahead. They spot a house, which they find a guy. They find the guy tied up, left for the infected, markings on him, which we assume is gonna be Jimmy and his group or something like that.
Oh yeah.
We assume because those markings have to be there for a reason.
Yeah, it's gonna have to be showing
in
like
the sequel.
Least something as a sequel. It's like it's set up.
Yeah,
but it was stupid. I'm not gonna lie.
This is where we get him trying to kill him. He's like stay here. There's a lesson here. He tries to get him to do what he does.
Yeah,
he freaks out. Does he even kill him? No, or does Jamie kill him?
Jamie kills him.
Jamie.
Basically, he tells him, like, look, whatever you see infected, you kill the infected. Whatever you do.
No souls, stuff like that.
Nothing. But basically, this is the part where it got me a little confused because I'm like, do they know this guy for some reason? Because in a way, it feels like he was hesitating for no reason. The kid, Spike, I was like,
no, he didn't know him. He was just scared. He was because it was. If you think about it, it's his first time seeing someone tied up.
Oh yeah, and like some sort of like hanged up.
Yeah, torture ways. So that's why he even asked. He's like, "Why do you like that?" Yeah. He's like, "He probably did something."
All right, so maybe there was a reason.
Yeah, no, to be honest, for that one, like I understand that one.
I still would rather have it like if they knew the guy. He's like, oh, so that's where the guy was. And then he was hesitating to kill him. And I'll be like, all right, I'll get it.
I don't think so.
All right, so yes, absolutely, he was afraid, and basically he did not want to kill it. But obviously Jamie had to kill it, and this is when they attract the other zombies.
They were a little too far, but
they heard it. Yeah. Though.
So they kill the zombie. They walk out. Now this scene, I love this scene in particular, is when the zombies show up. They see one, then they see another. They're like, hold still, because I guess from what I would take is earlier, before they started mutating more, gaining more of a conscience, they wouldn't, they would act normal and just brainless. But they clearly have a pattern, and then you see a main one, and he was like, all right, just back up. We got to get back. They're coming.
Yeah, and they call it basically an alpha, which basically has a virus of steroids, like an infection. So that's why the way how he is. He's stronger, he's faster, he's more intelligent.
Yeah. So he screams, they go charging. This is where we get cool, chasing. Except the goddamn slow motion scene. When the headshots, it became a video game.
It did.
I was like, you really didn't need to do that.
But they did anyway.
They did a little. I'm glad they stopped later, but they did it I guess it was okay for the first kill, but then they had it going. And anyways, you have his son freaking out. They run into the house. This is where it's still intense. You're invested in the film.
Yeah.
They make it up. They hide. They lose the zombies. And then this is where I like where time passes. It's nighttime now. Nightfall.
Really yeah.
And then he's still standing there. He's watching it, or he's waiting.
Yeah. While Jamie's looking at the Alpha, and basically you see Spike looking at the environment. He's looking at oh look, there's an outpost over there. There is the village.
Something.
Yeah,
he saw the video.
Really far away. And basically they're doing patrols. And then he went to the right, and then that's when he saw a bonfire. Basically a big flame in the middle of nowhere. Yeah. And basically this is where we get the backstory of a doctor. Basically the doctor named...
I forgot his name.
Kelson. A doctor that is so far away, and they think he's crazy. That he's just gone...
Yeah.
Which
is funny. That backstory was funny.
Oh, yeah, it was.
He literally turns around, just waves at them. And then he was like, we've never seen something terrifying in our life.
I know.
It's like they didn't even try to talk to him.
Exactly. And his son was basically wondering why haven't we got this guy yet? But he still didn't got the full backstory yet. It was just explaining what is out there.
He takes a nap. He's having dreams about his mom.
A little weird.
Yeah, for real. Unnecessary, honestly.
In the water, she's drowning.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, we get a group of deer running around and stuff like that. So they break down it basically causes an earthquake for the old house.
Oh, yeah, because it was it's seen better days, and it just started.
Yeah, better days. They had to run out. They realized they had to get the fuck out of there because it's like 3 a.m.
Oh yeah, and after that they were just running to the mainland. After that, I mean, back to their home, their island. Do you know what was the island called?
No, I have no idea.
I know it's a real place, but I forgot what it was called.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, but either way, they went to go, back into the place where they were supposed to, back home. They were laughing, they were giggling because they're like, "Oh, I can't believe we survived that. This is amazing."
Yeah.
And you see the stars, how beautiful
that shot was the best shot in the whole film.
And
all that.
They were talking about can we actually make it across? And they're like, "Yeah, the tide is not that big."
He's like, he's like, "We gotta go."
Yeah. And then all of a sudden you hear this monstrous person coming out from the woods, and it was an Alpha.
Yeah, which was awesome because they didn't realize it.
I was like, was that Alpha not screaming, or was just
No, he wasn't screaming.
Yeah,
he didn't scream until
when he was getting closer. Huh?
Yeah, they could hear him grunting as he was running. Which, imagine that shit.
That was funny.
You're just walking, you see that fucking dude sprinted from the beach all the way down, which was insane. Which you felt it. You're like, holy shit, are they gonna make it and shit like that? Because the kid fell.
I was hoping a couple of zombies following him, to show that he is Alpha and he has like a horde zombie.
But he killed them all. That's why.
Yeah, but it'd been cool having a few zombies.
I
with
thought
him.
there was, but it was still,
just him.
It was still a cool scene too. They took a lot to kill him.
Oh yeah, because he was Alpha.
Yeah, they literally had to shoot him with a giant baton or ballista or something until it finally took him down. But they were already showing, celebration scenes, right when it was happening. So we already know that they're going to be fine.
And obviously they went inside. They were checking their eyes. It's like, are you clear? Because apparently the pupil is what they see that they look at infected. And they were not infected at all. So they finally go inside and they're having this amazing party. And basically his dad, Jamie, was hyping him up. Telling people lies that he killed 8 of them. You should have seen the big one. He killed them. And you see Spike kind of going Dad, I didn't do any of these.
He said he just killed 1.
Yeah, I only killed 1, and it was a fat one. He's like, oh, he's just humble. Look at my boy. He's just making his shit up. It was funny to me, and I was like, because sometimes the dad would say anything to make him look proud and stuff.
Yeah.
And obviously, there's the part where he's just he's drinking beer. They give him alcohol. He throws up. But he saw his dad going and basically spanking it with another woman. And this is the part where he saw that he was disappointed in his father, and he's like, he just was angry, so he just left back home. And this is when he talked to an older gentleman, I guess the town's doctor?
Not doctor, but he was just watching, I guess, their mom.
Yeah, like a caretaker.
But, they talk and they learn. He mentioned, he's like, he told him the truth. And then he was like, he said, "Do you see anything strange?" He's like, "I saw a fire." And then he's like, "Oh, that must be the doctor." We'll call him the doctor because I'm not going to remember his name. Doctor. And he's like, you knew him, but I guess he knew him in the past until he went mad, allegedly, somehow, which I don't really see how he went mad, really.
Well, it's like out there, you've been isolated by yourself for so long, so you're going to be by yourself.
But he's like, crazy. "I'm not going to tell you anything more." He's like, "Your dad," he's like, "You could go join the party. I'm going to just stay with mom. I'll watch mom." He goes...
Yeah, he was like, I'll go. I'll go. I'm going to have fun.
Like, yeah, for real. Like, fuck that. He goes up, sleeps with his mom. Anyways, morning comes. Dad's finally back.
Yeah, he's all drunk.
He's like, "Oh, he's good." And then he's like, "What's wrong with y'all?" and stuff like that. Anyways, he's like, "I'll go make breakfast." Goes, makes breakfast. What does he say to him?
Oh, this is the part where he's telling the mystery of the doctor.
Yeah, and
he was like, "So, do you want your mother? I mean, do you want mom to die?"
Yeah. He's like,
"Of course not. What are you talking about?"
Yeah.
He's like, "Because you've been lying to me. There was no doctor, but there's actually a doctor all the way in the bonfire."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Well, because that guy is crazy.
Yeah.
You don't know what you're talking about because he's not going to help us. And we can't go all the way over there."
Yeah.
But he's like, but he's the only doctor, and he's the only one who could practically save her. So instead, he just, obviously breakfast gets totaled, and he just goes up to his room because he finally told him, like, "I saw you with another woman." And that night, yeah, he did. He slapped him.
Oh, really? I thought it was because it doesn't feel like it. I don't know. I don't remember. Yeah.
Yeah, he slapped him.
He slaps him. He goes upstairs. Then he comes in the room. Then he points the knife at him. Tells him, "Get the hell out of here, Dad."
Get out of here, Dad. And you see the dad grab the knife.
Yeah.
He wanted to hit him so bad. But he's like...
Yeah, gave him the knife and punches a fucking wall and leaves.
Yeah.
That's pretty much really the last time we see him.
Yeah, until the very end.
Until the ending.
Yeah. You expect that he would actually try to follow his son and his woman, but I guess he's just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
If you die, you die.
Exactly.
Good luck.
That's why I thought he was going to show up later in the film, but I was like, you're only going to have one of your top acters for half of the film. I guess they lost the budget.
Pretty much.
Anyways,
do you want to go?
What were you gonna say?
Well, this is the part where basically he has an idea to actually take the mother into the
mainland.
To the mainland to get it to the doctor that he really desperately wanted to do. So what he does is burn the medicine and the equipment of the resources. Yeah. And I'm like, you motherfucker. There's other people that need it, but he's a kid. He doesn't know any better.
Well, he doesn't plan on coming back for a while.
But... Yeah, exactly. But he took his mother, and I'm like, I hope you both die. But no, technically, it looks like he was gonna go like that.
Yeah, it's not her fault.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She has no idea.
Yeah,
he does, and I'm just like, there's no way you'll be able to protect her, especially in that situation. So it was kind of ridiculous. You were losing me there. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah.
But he's a stupid kid. Yeah. Of course he's gonna do that.
He takes her to the mainland. He sneaked out of there, takes her to the mainland.
And it was really good. I like this part because they were showing the environment. It's like the mother was like, "Wow, is this the mainland?"
Yeah.
Like, I like this place.
Yeah, and then she starts freaking out.
Yeah, like, wait a minute, we're in the mainland. Go back.
Yeah. He's like, no, I'm going to take you to see your doctor, which we know she's having problems. She keeps saying they go to a scene that reminded her where she's been, but it was her dad who took her there when she was like 6 or 7.
Surrounded by dandelions and all that cool stuff.
It was like sunflowers and stuff, which was a nice scene.
Like, it looks like an angel in that statue or whatever it was.
He's like, we got to go. Time flies. There's like a guard tower, basically. Like a little town and a little church and stuff like that. That's where they set up camp.
Oh, you're missing the part where biggest introduction ever. Colin Murphy, who came out of the dandelions.
That wasn't him.
That was him.
Oh, no, it wasn't.
That was our boy.
He's not on the thing.
Oh, really? I thought it was him.
It wasn't him. No, it wasn't.
Okay.
They even came out and said he wasn't in the film.
I thought it was him.
No, it wasn't.
Okay, so it was just a damn zombie?
Yeah, it was just a damn zombie.
So it was a normal zombie? Yeah, they lied to me?
Yes, they lied to you.
How dare they? Okay, so they killed the unknown zombie.
Yeah.
And that was technically his first kill. And because I was like, okay. Because it's funny because the people in the next to me, they were talking about like, oh look, that's Kevin. That's Kevin Murphy.
Not. Everyone thought that was.
So that everybody thought that was. So they thought.
No, it's not him.
Okay. So basically, even I thought, and I was just thinking like, okay, so his first kill is definitely Con Murphy then.
No, it's not. He's gonna be in the other one.
Okay.
They even announced that he's not gonna be in.
You should have been this zombie.
Yeah. No, he's not.
Yeah, because there's no way he's gonna save the other film. Maybe.
Anyways.
So yeah,
they run
while he's killing them, and basically they managed to escape, and they were actually in this lovely castle.
Yeah, they get to the castle, which is the most unnecessary scene in the whole film.
Yeah.
I guess for them talking, bonding, laying the fire was fine. But when we get him watching, this was so unnecessary, which I don't even know why it was in the film. Is that, we get the idea of the monster there, it's coming, tries eating his shoelace, the kid, because he falls asleep.
Yeah.
And then suddenly the mom kills him?
She's badass.
That's made no sense. Useless. That she just suddenly behind it made it seem like it was going to be someone else. And then they wake up the next morning, she's sleeping right next to him. And then she's like, oh, what? But then it shows that she killed him, which was like, that was unnecessary.
Yeah, exactly.
That whole scene was unnecessary.
Well, to never have that unnecessary part, has nobody ever told them, like, yeah, you're supposed to have the high ground, not the low ground, where it's so easy to get?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, it don't matter. It was stupid. I hated it.
Yeah,
I was with you on that. It was useless.
Next scene.
What happened next scene?
Next scene, we get the army guys, which was also useless.
Oh, yeah.
That was very useless. It shows them running from the affected. They all get gunned down by they got killed. They get killed by the Alpha. One guy does manage to escape. Eric, which we learned that he is also just a fucking useless character.
I found it funny though.
He was, yeah, but it's like, what was the point of his character? Nothing. Basically, none of that was. He was just like basically comedic relief.
Really, yeah.
Because they get chased once again. They go into the gas station, and this is where we learn that Eric is up there, but he's hiding on top. That whole place is filled with gas.
They should have died.
It doesn't make sense. He said, get down, and then he blew the whole thing, and they live somehow.
What was the color of the...
It was blue.
It was blue, right?
Yeah.
I was like, does that make sense? Okay, whatever.
I don't know.
So basically, exactly. He shot, he saved them, and somehow, instead of blowing them up to smithereens, they get down, and I guess they hide under a table. That's what they at least should have showed. But no, the flame was barely touching them.
Yeah.
Like a barrier showed up. And just killed everybody.
Yeah, killed everyone except them.
Even
he told them what it was. He said it was build-up gas and stuff like that from being shut.
Yeah.
Anyways, he came. He's like, whatever. You guys okay? He's like, how do I get out of here? Blah, blah, blah. He's like, what's wrong with her? He's like, you guys are useless. I should have saved my bullets.
Yeah, exactly. He's being an asshole.
He's being a total asshole.
He was a dick.
Yeah.
The mother was already onto him.
He's like, I'm fucked. He's like, our ship got blown into. Our raft took us to the mainland, which we're avoiding. Because all this place is in a quarantine zone.
Yeah, and they basically retcon everything from the second one.
Yeah.
So the second movie doesn't exist.
That's exactly what I heard.
28 weeks, yeah.
I heard that, which I don't get. I don't remember what happened.
Basically, the whole world was infected.
Oh, so they retconned it?
Yeah, they retconned it. So basically, 28 weeks later, it never happened. Forget it! Get out of your system! So that guy running for his dear life from the fields, that didn't exist. Nope. The best part in the movie doesn't exist. So yeah, basically he's telling that, look at these photos. They're bonding Spike and Eric. They're having a good time.
Yeah,
it's like,
he's showing him.
This is another funny part for me. Is like showing a fake girl or like a girl, his girlfriend or his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
And just like, my girl. Like I seen a girl that ate like seashells, and he basically got puffy. It's like it was just hilarious.
Her lips were puffy from surgery.
Yeah.
And then he's like, "What you talking about?" He's like a basic young kid or whatever.
Yeah.
Which we learn him why he's been carrying his mom and whatnot.
Yeah.
She stands up and walks away. He's like, she could walk.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
I was like, oh, that was pretty funny.
It was hilarious,
again, useless character.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I agree.
Useless character, useless. And I'm not meaning like.
But it's not the worst part.
No, I'm like, it's not. His character could have been something, but they made him a nothing. He literally was just there just to be there. and for comedic relief. But anyways, she hears a woman giving birth.
It's mother's intuition.
Apparently so.
Because she heard it. And then she teleported, even though they were right behind her. They were right
behind her, yeah. She teleported in the train and they somehow went back. Anyways, I guess the pregnant zombie was smart enough to know that she was there to kind of help.
Oh yeah,
or something like that for a little bit. I don't want to,
because it was. I know it was dumb. It was ridiculous, but you got to show the audience how dumb it was.
They literally hold hands, and then she helps her give birth.
Exactly. For some reason, she didn't want to chew him up or chew her up or basically attack her because she was feeling the pain of childbirth. Basically,
I thought they were
what
dead.
Every mother has. And that's how they bonded together, because she held up her arms so they could both hold each other's hands. And instead of the baby coming out, infected, it was a healthy girl or a boy.
That doesn't make sense.
It does not make any sense. And basically there was blood everywhere, and they made this thing that if you get caught with blood,
you're infected.
You will get infected. And they showed that in the beginning too, where the mother got, blood in your eye.
Yeah, they said don't get that off. Yeah.
Exactly. And how is that possible? And this is the part where you lost me. You lost me. So this is the part where it is just stupid. It was dumb. It was just something to put in there to add to the second one, probably, in the film.
Yeah.
Exactly. It was dumb. And I agree with you. 100%.
Anyways, he's like, you guys are fucking weird. Fucking Eric.
And I agree with them.
Anyways, he was going to shoot them both and shoot the baby because he shot the mom. But who does that bring? The alpha. As Samson, as the doctor calls him. Anyways.
But Eric was ready to shoot them.
Yeah, because they were...
Yeah, because he shot the mother, because it looks like you didn't say it.
Well, because it was going to attack them.
Yeah, exactly.
So he saved them.
Yeah, he saved them, but he was ready to kill them again because he wanted to kill the baby.
Yeah, because he's like, it's infected. Like, he was kind of using basically common sense, but they were like, no, it's not infected anyways. So he was scared. Obviously, he was scared. He's rightfully so to be scared. Mm-hmm. And then Samson comes, Mortal Kombat's the shit out of him.
Oh, yeah. The whole Sub-Zero thing.
Yeah. And then this is where we get the chase scene. He picks the dead body up to see if she was still alive, dead. He goes charging after them. This is where we get a whole ass chase scene. Put a couple arrows on him. But what really stops him was the doctor. They finally caught up to the doctor.
Yeah, Dr. Kelson.
Yeah, which he rubbed something on him that gets the zombies that they don't like the smell of it or something like that. That's why he was covered in it.
It didn't matter because he almost died a couple of times. He tranquilized him with, I guess it was morphine, like some sort of herbs that he collected over the years. And basically what he did say that he knows Stan. That's what he called him.
Samson, there
you go.
He said he appeared about 3 years ago.
Yeah, he appeared 3 years ago, and basically I keep my distance away from him. Yeah. You know why.
He said rightfully so. I liked actually his character.
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
But again, like, I was already, this movie still like...
Yeah, I was punched out too. But I was like trying to get in.
Yeah, we go into his whole area, his skeleton. I mean, I feel like all this stuff is useless in the film. I'm pretty much going to just dive really deep into it because he's a doctor. We find out what happened to the mom, but first, we see his pile of skeletons. He said he was like honoring them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People, he's like, because he said in 13 years, no one has asked me a question and stuff like that.
Yeah, because he was isolated.
Yeah. He sees the skull and stuff like that. He's like, let's go put your friend somewhere. He's like, so that he burns the useless process of showing how he burns whatever skeleton, gives it to Spike. Spike puts it somewhere.
Because he was using a model that he had. Basically,
his
favorite
Latin
word, a dead Latin word.
Yeah.
Melantolis or something like that.
Yeah, basically means we all die regardless or something like that.
Yeah. No idea
which
why
I've heard it before.
Yeah. It didn't make no sense. It didn't care.
Anyways, does a checkup on the mom, which I guess she had lumps. Doesn't know where it came from. And then he determines she has cancer, which you're going to have to take over because I went to the bathroom this part.
Oh, yeah, of course. Obviously, she told them that she has cancer. And it is not like something that you could cure because he was actually desperately crying and saying, I could go to a hospital and get that medicine if you just let me do it. but he's telling him like, look, there's nothing I could do. There's no such thing as a medicine for that. Your mother's gonna die. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. And this is the part where you start seeing like he's basically almost want to give up on her, but he wanted to do something else for the mother, like try to get anything to do what she can. But obviously the doctor grabbed this little harpoon or whatever the thing he has. You know, like how he tranquilized Alpha.
Yeah, I don't know.
The dart. Oh, the darts. Okay. So he basically got the dart and he tranquilized the son. For some reason.
Wait, what he did?
Yeah, he did. He tranquilized the son. And then, so he could kill the mother. Even though the mother could live maybe in a couple more months. So he could spend more time with their son. Instead of just killing her there.
Wait, so he didn't give them a choice?
No. He just basically just killed the mom. Right off the bat.
Okay, that's what happened. Okay.
Yeah, and this is why he, after when he did all that, he grabbed the skull. It's all clean because he already did the process of beheading her, cutting it, and basically, you know, smiting it and all that kind of stuff. And he gave it to the son and said, you get to choose where you put the skull.
No fucking way.
So what he does is he climbs to the top and he put it on top of the, you know, the big skull tower.
Damn, that's dumb.
And then not before that, because obviously you start seeing a montage of their adventures.
Yeah, you didn't need to see the montage.
And it was amazing. It was heartwarming. It was special.
No, was it?
And people were crying because there was actually people actually tearing by my side.
Really?
Yeah, they liked it. So, and I'm going to say if they liked it, I guess people are going to like this part because they like the story out of it. And after that, you know, obviously he was sad. He was depressed and he didn't know what to do. And he's like, it looks like you're going to have time to go home to, you know, to the island. And before he could get more thoughts into it, you start hearing a voice far away. And that's an alpha that basically wants its baby back. I don't know why he wants the baby. Does he want to kill it?
No.
Or what? It doesn't matter. Okay, so
he literally said it's going to die.
Yeah.
Without milk.
Exactly. So what's going to happen or whatever. So maybe he wants to eat it for breakfast. And nobody steals Alpha's lunch. So he goes after them and basically they hide in a hole. And this is where Dr. Kelson was like, we'll be safe here.
Oh, yeah.
But it did not work because he bashed into the hole and started grabbing him and started trying to pick him up out of the hole. And then luckily he, what's his name? Spike managed to grab his dart and stuck it into Alpha and he just passes out again.
Yeah.
And basically Alpha is already out and basically he's like, all right, it's time for you to go. Get out of here before he wakes up again. And he does. He leaves, but not exactly. He just grabs the baby and just drops it up in the, what was that, in the, what do you call those? Casket. What do you call that?
A basket?
A basket. There it is. A basket, and he left it in the front of the door in
the note.
Yeah, in the note. I don't know what he put on the note.
No, it's what he was saying.
Really?
Yeah.
So he said the baby is born from an infected mother, but it's not infected. Don't you think they would kill that baby?
Exactly. Well, he's a kid again. But like, and then he had the kid's
The village would have killed the baby.
Wait.
What I'm trying to say is if you heard an infected gave birth, the first thing you would do is get rid of the baby.
Well, exactly.
I would have shot the baby. So basically...
He named it the mom. That's what he named it.
Oh, okay. So basically he named it, and obviously the dad noticed that he is still out there. So he went freaking out into the sea and yelling and grabbing his note like Spike, and nothing happened. And this is the part where he's just going like, I'm not going to be coming back anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because I want to survive on my own there. Because I still hate you, Dad. And this is the part where we get the Power Ranger scene. What happened to Power Rangers?
So I hate this scene just because it was making the zombies feel absolute already. Or useless already.
Yeah.
He was killing them like nothing, obviously. Oh, the guy actually, too. The Jimmy character. He's the vampire guy from Sinners. I was like, he looks familiar. I thought it was Tom Hardy at first. But anyways, he's like, you need some help? He's like, you got this covered? He looks goofy as fuck. Then he's like, mind if our squad, like, the Ginyu Force hop in? And he's like, yeah. We get this useless killing montage of them jumping around, doing flips. I was like, is this the same movie?
You heard the Teletubbies theme song?
Yeah.
Teletubbies. They're like jumping around. And they have jumpsuits.
I have no idea.
Gold rings.
Yeah.
Necklace. just to tell you that he survived, the kid, and he's crazy. And now he's a leader of a cult.
Yeah.
Which doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. They kill everybody. They're obviously crazy because they're enjoying everything they're doing.
Yeah.
Goes up to him, tells him his name's Jimmy, and then Spike gives him a handshake.
Yeah, and basically the second movie is going to be called, 28 Years Later, The Temple of Bones. I don't know what's that going to be about. It's definitely going to be about him and what they're basically up against. Well, I'm pretty sure Jimmy's going to come back. He has to, even though he is a popular actor, and he's going to basically drain the budget again. But it's been shot side by side anyway.
Yeah, that's true. It's already done.
So it's already been good. So they could probably release it next year for sure.
This movie's probably going to make its budget already.
Oh, yeah, I agree. But there's a lot of people that don't like this film. I'm one of those people.
Likewise.
Same here. And obviously there's people that love it. I'm not telling you, do not support this film whatsoever. It's just like coming in there to this zombie film that I wanted to see. Turn out it wasn't the zombie that I wanted to actually see. It just backfired really badly for me. It's this movie that did not work for me. Yeah. If you like this film, go ahead, man. I don't know. Tell us what kind of parts you actually like. Do you like the Power Ranger scene? Is it something that younger audience love nowadays? Like, seriously, I have no idea. Is the baby gonna be anything special or something? Like, is that gonna be the cure to cure all zombies?
We'll see.
There's a lot of dicks here, I'll tell you that. Yeah. There's a lot of nudity. But either way, that's all we got for you guys. But until then, later, guys.